Good morning. My name is Paul Palmer. Today I'm going to talk about communication. Not just any sort of communication, but communication in preparation for and during an inspection. Now that's a regulatory inspection for pharmaceutical products. So the first thing you want to be considering before you actually get to the inspection is communication around the team. Make sure everybody knows it's coming. Make sure everybody knows the dates, the times, throughout the whole organization, not just the senior exec, not just the management team, but you should cascade the communication throughout. Now, you can do this with a whole presentation to the organization through a webinar, some sort of video with the head of site, the head of the company, the CEO, the quality director. But to be honest, although that's good, it's better to actually make sure that the teams are talking about it. So you're better off cascading the communication down through the managers, through the supervisors, to the shop floor to make sure everybody knows what it is, that they understand the implications, but more importantly, to actually give them a chance to communicate back, to ask questions. Maybe some of them don't really understand what they're being told. And if you're just on a webinar, you're not going to get a lot of people asking questions. Recently, I attended one with the CEO and asked a question, but other people wouldn't. I have the confidence there. I'm willing to ask the questions, but I didn't consider the implications for other people. Now, in preparation for inspections previously, I've always done a range of different communication styles. And I thought people would be willing to listen to and interested in the general full team communication. Well, they are interested, but it doesn't mean they get the good understanding. You have to make sure that people understand what you're talking to them, because you may or may not consider the both sides to the communication that you're making. It's not just what you're saying. Okay, so maybe the content that you're presenting is perfect. Maybe you've wordsmithed the words, maybe you've made sure that it's exactly what you want to say. But it's actually the receiver that's more important, the person listening. And if they don't get it, you might have done the best presentation ever. But if for some reason they're distracted or they're thinking about something else, and as a result, they don't understand the content that you present in the same way that you're delivering it, you need feedback. You need two-way communication. Okay, so that's the preparation. And you need to do that over a period of time, make sure everybody's involved. Now, when it comes to the actual event itself, when they arrive, you need to make sure you know who's going to greet them, how they're going to greet them. You need to know where they're going to go next, who they're going to meet on the way. Make sure those people know what they're expected to say or do. Make sure when you arrive in the room, you know how you're going to communicate. Are you going to be all the way around a big table? Are you going to be face to face? Is there going to be 2 people or 10? Usually at the opening meeting, you want the management team that's going to be involved in the inspection, and maybe a couple of others that need to be aware of what's going on, maybe the support side. But you want to plan beforehand who's going to communicate, who's going to deliver the company presentation. Have they practiced? Have you listened? Is the way that the presentation being delivered going to take them to some sort of question that you don't want to answer? Then when you go around, you want to make sure people know what they're supposed to answer with. If the inspector asks a question, how do you answer it? Do you give your full life story? Do you give all the problems? No, you don't. You answer the specific question. Answer what he wants, and he'll move on to the next stage. If you take him off on a tangent, he'll go with you. And maybe he'll take you there to something that you don't want to talk about. But he didn't actually ask about it in the first place. You're the ones that lead him in the conversation. Whenever you're communicating with an inspector, make sure you listen first. If it's not clear to you what's expected, what he wants to talk about, say so. Ask. It's a two-way channel. Two-way communication is much better than one-way. He asks, you can ask for clarification. You can then present the right content. If you present the wrong content, then he's just going to ask again. So you might as well ask in the first place. Okay, so that's it for today. Thanks. That's Paul Palmer talking about communication with regulatory inspections.